In this lecture, we'll study in detail how to take input and how to display output on the screen of Python programs. To make your interface interactive is very important. There are two ways for interacting or developing the programs. One way is to take or assign values in the beginning of the program, perform calculations on it, and display the result like this. Print A. This program here, 10 is assigned to A, then A is multiplied with A, then result will become 100, and that value is assigned to A again, and then I have printed A, and the result will be displayed as 10. But what if user wants to take input from the user rather than statically assign the value over here? Best option is to take input from the user in every run, or take input from the user, data input from the user, rather than making the input static as shown over here. A is equal to 10. Therefore, we'll study input and output functions in Python. First of all, we'll study output function. There are various ways to use print command in Python to display beautiful output. The journal syntax of print is as follows: print, objects, separator, end, file, flush, false. So there are basically 5 parameters associated with the print function. It's not mandatory to use all of them. You can use, the first one is mandatory and rest of the 4 are default. Some of them are default, like files sys.stdout is default. That means the output is displayed on the system screen. Okay, this is also default. And end, new line, this is also default. And separator, you can give the value of separator. I will tell you what is separator means. So let's understand the meaning of each of them. Objects are values to be printed. The value which I'm going to print in the output screen will be considered as objects. Suppose if I write print A, here A is the object to be printed as output. Objects are values to be printed. Sep is the separator that is used between the values. Suppose I have these 4 values. If I give the separator value as hyphen, then the output will be given as this. So this is a use of separator. It defaults into a white space character. If I don't give any separator, the default value of separator is hyphen, is white space. The default output will be shown like this: 10 space 20 space 30 space 40, where this is a white space. And hyphen is a special separator, or any kind of separator. If I want to display my output in that format, I can use. End is printed after printing all the values. It defaults into a new line. File is the object where the values are printed, and its default value is sys.stdout, that is screen. For instance, consider this code below. You can see how you can modify the output. It will be more clear to you by understanding this code, simple code. Print 10, 20, 30, 40. So by default, the output will be displayed like this. And if I give a separator value as hyphen, then value will be displayed like 10 hyphen 20 hyphen 30 hyphen 40. And if I also specify end value as hash and separator as caret, then the output will be displayed like this. This is how we can display output in various format according to our choice. There is another way to display a message output. It is very simple. We'll write print, and in quotes, we'll give the message content. This is an example of displaying output in Python language. A simple text can be given in single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotes. All of them will work in Python. If I want to give message output, or want to display certain message, then this can be done with single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotes. There is another example. If I want to display certain variables value with proper format, that can be given as A is equal to 5, and I want to display the output in a very beautiful and proper format, this can be given as print, and in parentheses, I will write the message in quotes. The value of A is quotes closed, then this comma, and then A. Then the value of A will be inserted over here, and the output will be displayed like the value of A is 5. So by this way, we can display the value in a proper format of our result, computed result. There are various options of output formatting also. Let's understand them. If we have two values, A10 and B20, then values can be displayed in placeholders like this. Print, first of all, see the syntax, string dot format and then parenthesis. String means the message along with values. The value of A is, this is called placeholder. The value of A is braces and B is braces. This is given in quotes, then dot, format, comma, in parentheses, we'll give A, comma, B. So in this placeholder, the value of A will be inserted, and in the second placeholder, value of B will be inserted. And then parenthesis closed. The value of A is 10 and B is 20. Fine. So this is also a different way to display the output in a very beautiful manner. The value of A is 10 and B is 20. There is another way also. Let's see it. Print I eat 0, I and 1 in breakfast. Dot format egg, comma, sandwich. Here we have specified the index values. The first value is having index 0, second is having 1. If there will be third item, it will be having index 2 and so on. So first value will be inserted over here and second will be inserted in 1. I eat egg and sandwich in breakfast. Similarly, their order can also be changed. Print I eat 1 and 0 in breakfast. Egg and sandwich, here we have written in that the same order, 0, 1. But here we have written 1 before 0. So answer will be printed as I eat sandwich, because sandwich is having index 1 and egg in breakfast. So this is how you can display the output. This is how you can display the output in different fashions. Another way is print hello name greeting dot format. Greeting good evening name Jack. Here name, these are based on keys. Name is Jack. Jack will be inserted over here, and in greetings good evening will be inserted. So the output will be displayed as hello Jack, good evening. So this is how we can display outputs in different formats in our programs. Just like as printf that we use in C programming language, that format can also be used in Python language for printing various number formats. As shown in this example, you can see that we have a variable x is equal to 12.34567889, and we can print it in proper floating point number by using this. The value of x is %3.2f %x, and the output will be as shown below. You can see from here, output will be 12.35. That means, as we have written that, there will be only 2 numbers after the decimal point. Therefore, only 3 and 5 are shown, where 4 is rounded off, and rest of the numbers are eliminated from this number. Similarly, if I write the value of x is 3.14f %x, then up to 4 decimal points, that number will be displayed. 12.3457, where 6 is rounded off to 7. So this format can also be used as per your need and choice. There are various format symbols available in Python which are given below. As we have seen, for floating point number, %f is used. Similarly, for other data types, different characters can be used or symbols can be used, which are %c for character, %s for string conversion, I for signed decimal integer, D for signed decimal integer again, U is for unsigned decimal integer, O for octal number, hexadecimal, exponent, floating point, G is for shorter, %f and %e, and %g is for shorter, %f, %g. So there are various format symbols which we can use as per our choice and need. So we have learned about various formatting options and output function which we use in Python. As per your requirement, you can use either a simple print function or you can use various options within it. Next is input. Input is very important function if we want to take input from the user rather than just computing on static values, such as rather than using a is equal to 10, I want to take input from the user for a, then I need to use the function input. And its syntax is very simple, input prompt. And in input function, I can also display a message along with it. It's a very simple function to use in Python rather than scanf that we use in C and C in C++. So to take input from a user, we write num is equal to input, enter a number. Here, input of a number will be taken and that value will be assigned to num. Enter a number, then here, if we assign a value 10, then this value will be assigned to num, and when we'll print it, it will display 10. You should note that by default, whatever be the input taken by the input function, it is only in the format of strings. Its data type is string. Here we can see that the entered value 10 is a string, not a number. To convert this into a number, we can use int or float. Therefore, we need to use the typecast function that we have studied earlier, int num, then it will be converted into integer. And if I write float num, then that will be converted into float. That can also be done in a single line statement like this, num is equal to int, and in parentheses, I'll write input, enter a number. Then that number, user will give input for the number, let's suppose 10, then it will be converted into integer, and after that it will be assigned to num. So internally, by writing this typecast int function, that input string will be converted into integer. Similarly, I can write here float for floating point number, etc. This is how we can take input from the user in Python. It's very simple to use. Next is eval function. This same operation can be performed using eval function also. As the name implies, eval function also evaluates the expression. So how to use it? Let me show you. Int 2 plus 3. Here, I cannot add these two numbers at one go. Therefore, to perform because they both are strings. So to perform the computation, I can use the eval function, eval 2 plus 3. Then 2 plus 3 will be added and we'll get the result 5. So we can also use eval function for performing computation on numbers. This is about input and output in Python.